Our next speaker is Sue Daniels-Ferrie, and it is the last trip, preparing for your death.
Good morning. Fact, none of us are getting out of this life alive. Fact number 2, we're all going to die at some point, but not all on the same day or the same time. Fact 3, we will die from old age, illness, accident, or we've just worn out the body. Fact 4, many of us here have not prepared for our own death. I have many personal experiences with death and dying, during which time I learned many valuable lessons, and I'm here today to share some of those with you. I'd like to talk to you about your death and the preparations for it. Now is the time to tell your family and friends what you want to happen when you die. What do you want to happen with your remains? Do you want a service? Do you want to be cremated? Do you want to be buried? You know, a service is very important to the people that you leave behind. Some of you may think, I don't need a service. I don't want a service. It's going to affect my family so much. But I have to tell you, those people that are left behind, that love you and worked with you, need to be able to talk about you. They need to be able to say, I loved you. I liked you. You were my friend. I wanted your desk. They need to share the stories. They need to say goodbye. It doesn't matter if you have a formal service or a gathering at a bar. It doesn't matter if it's a big funeral or a small funeral. It shouldn't matter to you. You're dead. You're gone. It matters to your survivors. Take my word for it. The only thing you'll probably be concerned about is, don't spend all the estate. Please, don't spend all the estate. Don't just write it in your will. Do you know why? The will doesn't get read until after the service. So if you wanted to be buried and you were cremated, it's a little too late. Remember, tell many people. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell several. Because some of the people that you tell could predecease you. And they won't be around when your turn comes. So make sure you tell lots of people. I had a very good friend who had told me what he wanted. He'd kept me advised and said what his final wishes were. And when he died at 97, he planned on having a big party, and he talked to lots of friends, and it was a common joke running through our conversations whenever we got together. He died quite suddenly. His mother, his brothers were devastated, but more so because they didn't know what he wanted. They didn't know what wishes he had had, but we were able to tell them. We came together and said, this is what he wanted. So we got together, all his friends and families and co-workers, at the camp that he had managed for 17 years. And we shared stories, and we had some laughs, and we sang some camp songs, and we raised our cups of hot chocolate, and we said goodbye. The only difference? My friend was 36 instead of 97. He died a lot sooner than planned. Put all your important papers together. My family were refers to mine as the death box. I have a death box, and in it is my will, important papers, my accounts, copies of any documents that I think are important for them to know about, the music I'd like them to play at any service they may decide to have, some pictures of when I was a child. More importantly, the current ones. I only keep good pictures now. I get rid of the other ones. So that they have one place to go. You need to know that when you die and when you're gone, people will go through your house and go through everything. Every drawer, every cupboard, every little nook and cranny, and your computer as well. So you may think, well, I've got a password on my computer, nobody's going to get into that. I have news for you. My 13-year-old grandchild could get your password and get into your computer. So if you have something that you don't want other people to see in your house or on your computer, get rid of it now, or make arrangements with a really good friend for when you die to get rid of it. I had a friend who was dying of AIDS, and he said, you will be first contact. When I die, they will call you, you will go to my house, you will take this box, you will take it to the backyard, put it in the incinerator, and burn it. Then you will call my family. Okay? Unfortunately, he passed from the result of a house fire, so I didn't have to go and get the box. It had already burned. But he made arrangements. He had made arrangements. So I want you to think about your families, your friends, and what's going to happen when you're gone. Because you know what? They're the ones that are left behind. It's very difficult when you're grieving. And I'm sure almost every one of us here has lost someone we loved or cared about. When you're grieving and you have to go through those pictures and those letters, it breaks your heart all over again. So if the last thing you do for them is to say, I loved you, I took care of you right till the end. Because when we do, when we let those we leave behind know that we cared enough about them to make our deaths a little easier for them, it means a lot. We only get one chance to do this right where death is concerned, and the choice is yours.